Game number one between UwU and Plush Keepers. What are we seeing here from these comps? Anything surprising? I mean, Lucario maybe the most surprising thing.
Yes, like surprising, but not as surprising as it once was. You know, we're seeing this more and more now as, you know, perhaps Buzzwole and Blastoise banned in this one. And now, okay, so what are we taking into the top path? Excuse me, not Blastoise, but Buzzwole certainly was, as Snow is putting in this work in Lucario. We saw Klaus do great work with it earlier, and this could be another opportunity as Hirai uses their eject button. And the biggest surprise to me is they're playing a healing Pokemon, Spraggles. We've seen Hirai play Sableye over and over and over again when they're back on Zephyr.
Yeah, this is going to be really interesting to see, but I mean, Clefable is just so powerful right now that I think a lot of teams feel like, look, if we're able to pick it up, we're definitely bringing it into this match. Another thing that's been powerful today that I love is the Hyper Voice Sylveon. I felt like once this Pokemon got its recent buffs, we were going to see a lot more Sylveon, and it's actually really working out for a ton of these competitive teams. Evolves early, becomes a menace just at its first Evo on level 4. You can just see the amount of damage it is able to output is really intense. Obviously, they're having a tough go in that bottom path. I mean, you're trying to out-secure an Inteleon, which is pretty tough to do.
Yeah, and now that Crustle's online, like, that's just another layer of, quite frankly, just annoying static that is provided by that Pokemon. As they're, you know, shelled out by Rock Tomb, they're either going to be trapped or cut off from their secure. And honestly, that's a great tool against this Screamion as well. Not only to trap it once its Hyper Voice is down and so on cooldown, but also to space it from being able to engage.
Look at this Blastoise, man. Blastoise becoming an absolute force in competitive. It's always been something huge, but Blastoise is just really doing it right now. The mean look obviously breaking the Snow Cloak, but they weren't able to grab that Glaceon right there. That could have been a nice KO if they could grab it in that moment. We see the Rock Tomb coming out, not able to do too much, but they are able to zone it out a little bit. Nice mean look right here. They're going to be stuck in that Hyper Voice, and this is a combo we're seeing so much by so many of these teams where they are just able to rain down that special attack damage once they are stuck in that mean look. There's nowhere that they can go. Hyper Voice basically hits the entire area.
No, exactly right. However, that screening by the Crustle allowed the Inteleon, AlexKidd, I believe is who's playing that, to come online. And those snipe shots, if they are BNJ was there, AlexKidd was the one that facilitated that. But if these snipe shots are anywhere near some of the snipe shots we've seen so far today, like, Inteleon is a new Pokemon.
Yeah, Inteleon, Liquidation used to be the call, especially because it could not miss and was way overpowered. But now they have gotten rid of that, and now it's just the rest of its kit that is way overpowered. And if you hit some of these snipe shots, it really changes everything about some of these fights right here. I'm interested to see what this Lucario is going to be up to in this top path. Looks like it's losing a little bit to the Blastoise in the top path, which I guess is surprising. You probably are playing Lucario because early you're able to beat your top path opponent, but we're not seeing that here in game number one. 12-42, Regirock's on the board. Glaceon is starting out right here, just charging up those spears, and here comes the fight.
Yeah, they're going for an engagement here, laying in tons of damage. Sox goes down instantly. Regirock's at 50% on the backside is Mew using their Unite move. They're caught in next scissor immediately. Hirai is low, but there's the Screamion, Galnegunnar coming through, getting 2 KOs back the other way. They're looking for BNJ target. They're able to dodge a snipe shot, but not before they're taken out by the Glaceon. Now this Regirock is still up. Nyhaat's being chased. BNJ flipping the script. Jaypa ripping this Regirock. They've got the Icicle Spears. They can make it happen. Are they going to pepper into Regirock as it tries to reset? They're trying to mitigate this reset of it, but now Regirock is still low. Snipe shot lined up, but it's too early. Still clutched out by Jaypa. Now they can flip the script. Icicle Spears rained in on Sox, but they catch the reset from the Hoopa, and this thing's settling out, at least for the moment.
Scary moment right there as you saw that snipe shot just being charged for an eternity, and they recognize, well, I really want to try to get this Regi right here, but they knew it wasn't enough. Glaceon able to pick up the secure, and you can now see the level lead swinging really nicely in the direction of Plush Keepers. They've got those level 10s online. They've got that level 9 Blastoise now with the big Unite move, and they don't have as much on the side of UwU to really fight back against these Unites.
Yeah, they're having a tough time. It's a good combination of ranging and changing, secure and burn on the side of Plush Keepers. And if they can get that 40, and that would have been clutch. Sock's there to just cut that off just in time. Nyhaat's caught in a rock tomb. Can't rejoin the team. There's the Umbreon Unite. They are prancing in the moonlight indeed, as now we're ripping through the Icicle Spear. Sock's peeling back. AlexKidd traps the retreat. So Sox is getting so much damage rained in on them. AlexKidd able to get the KO and get out of dodge before they fall victim to that. Quick points going in. Unfortunately, Hirai rolls the block and just uses it to get back to their team.
Yeah, look at these. Oh, nice big Sylveon moment as they're continuing this push right here. And here comes Mew with the Unite move. Hoopa in a lot of trouble, and that is a double KO. This push continuing, running onto this tier 1 goal zone. The Hyper Voice is out. Mew is here. The snipe shot lands, but so does the Electro Ball. Mew in so much trouble with the eject button barely getting out. Inteleon Unite moving to try to push back, and Glaceon is here to actually stem the tide. 30 points go in, but they are able to push them back to their tier 1. This fight is somehow continuing.
These teams are relentless. They want that action. They're going for it. AlexKidd tries to get their points, and they have 12. They can't quite get it in. Now Nurzox is trying to get their points in. Something goes in. Can they get the overdunk? Finally, 37 points. That goal zone is gone. BNJ is just getting a round of applause from the rest of the Plush Keepers because they were tired of that bot path scrap.
We talked about this being a close match, and look at this. They've had tier 1s up on both sides almost the entire time. Finally, that bottom goal zone going down right here, and it looks like the points are starting to shift towards the Plush Keepers right now. Snow up in that top path, actually hitting a little bit of a Unite move, using an eject button, looking for that Hoopa right there. Nothing happening. Hoopa using their Unite right now. They're saying, look, it's 3:30. It's either use it or lose it. Let's bring a bit of the team up right here and see if we can do some damage onto this top goal zone, put some more points in, extend that lead. We've got a big 40 in the pockets of Glaceon right here. That's a nice big overcap, bringing him 42 to 232, almost 200 points separating these teams, which means our purple team needs to make a massive play at Rayquaza.
Yeah, and you said use it or lose it. They certainly did use it and got tons and tons of value. Spraggles, they were able to crash the goal zone, get a couple knockouts, huge overdunk. Check it out on Spotify. And then taking the Regieleki as well. So this is exactly how Plush Keepers could have drawn up a perfect Hoopa Unite, much less one that they just used so they didn't lose it as well. So great shout by Plush Keepers. They are in the driver's seat.
Here we go. 2:45 on the clock as we are getting ready for this fight right here. 40 seconds left. We have our Inteleon peeling back. Both teams now in that weird moment where there isn't a ton to do. You really just don't want to make a huge mistake. Right now, we can see them pushing forward onto this tier 1 tier 1 right here, excuse me, looking for some points early. If they're able to score this early, they actually get themselves a lot closer. Obviously, they would want to wait for the double points, but they're so far behind that they need to take these moments. Lucario in a lot of trouble right here. The close combat coming in. Crustal Unite move looking for a KO, but it's Umbreon that goes down.
Yeah, we're going to be down a couple Unite moves going into this Ray. That's just in 5 seconds. Nice Rock Tomb trap, so Gunnar can't make it out and get damage on a target that they want. Icicle Spears are raiding in. Are we going for a rip here? That's a Unite move by Jaypa. They're going straight for this Rayquaza. They're ripping this thing. The Mew uses their Unite move. They're looking for an opportunity to collapse on somebody. Galnegunnar flanking, trying to get a Hyper Voice, maybe on BNJ. BNJ lines up a snipe shot, gets a KO and a one-pot shot here. We got another Unite. Umbreon Unite is out. Rayquaza is solo. Solar Beam comes through. It's a bit too early, and I think Plush Keepers just clutched that out off the back of a snipe shot. 4 players down. 4 UwU make it 5-10. Jack Queen King. That's a what? Spraggles, that's an ace. And now we're serving up burgers. Beautiful
stuff right here. The points are raining in. Huge overcap in the bottom path. This match is so over. 114-628. What a fight. You know, as soon as they pushed out the Lucario, as soon as they pushed out the Clefable, and then they had that Umbreon KO, they got extremely aggressive, and it looked pretty dicey there for a moment, but they were really in control of that fight the entire time. Zoinks putting us into double time right now, 8 times speed as we are finishing out this match. I mean, there's really nothing that can be done in this moment. Great fight there from our orange team, the Plush Keepers.
I'm very impressed by their play this game, Spraggles. I mean, there are no slouches on the other side of the map, but they were truly in control from start to finish. Plush Keepers, you know, most notably to those of you that follow the competitive Unite scene, kind of quarterbacked and put together, I believe, by Pump. out of France. So finding all of these wonderful players. I mean, Volto, we saw them on
Leafeon is.
Oh, it's so good. I think you and Doobsnax were casting a game earlier, and I think you just described it best. The central area clear into how quickly you can get to top path, because you don't need both buffs to get 5 or to get 4 to get your solar blade. Like, it is so unbelievably paced that you can just dominate any lane you want to, wherever you flank. And just that advantage is so hard to give up. Leafeon, the only Pokemon that can do that. I can't think of anyone else with a faster clear, really.
Take a look at this Leafeon right here. Their choice to do kind of the weak clear so they could get it enough experience right here, because if they are able to do that, it's going to get its 4 incredibly fast. Running to the other side here, picking this up with the experience share. There's the 4 so early on the Leafeon. It scores. It can either secure farm or run back to deal with the Lucario. Of course, it's going to secure, pick up another stack, and it's almost level 5 already. The clear's so fast, and it's such a danger to the enemy team. But the Eldegoss, one of those Pokemon that you just can't get away from in path. Glaceon already here in the top path. Clefable in trouble, and they turn around this moment that felt like it was great for the side of our purple team, and now it's becoming a little bit horrible as Glaceon's in so much trouble. Mew looking for a possible solar beam right here. Let's see if they can line it up. No, they just don't have enough time.
No, waiting for those birds. Instead, the secure still, though, going a lot in favor of the Plush Keepers as we see Jaypa at level 6. Let's take a look at the bottom side now as Sox is trying to go up against AlexKidd. Defender Crustle versus Defender Blastoise. Interesting to see Blastoise played as kind of true tank in this composition.
I think you can play Blastoise just about anywhere. It's just so unbelievably good. It's a reverse Charizard, as I like to say, that you can't play anywhere because it just doesn't work inside this game. Blastoise works just about anywhere. You could literally play it. You could play it in any lane. You could go top, bottom, or jungle, and you'd have to go, yeah, that's Blastoise. You could really do whatever you want.
Now, this is the slowest lane to put it in. It is going to take quite a while before it'll be a threat. However, the early game for Blastoise, I feel, has been greatly misunderstood. It is extremely strong, despite not having that final evolution. Those boosted autos and Hydro Pump really slow down your enemies incredibly well.
Yeah, Water Gun early, Skull Bash even for a stun, which is kind of crazy. I mean, repositioning and a stun, your boosteds are incredible. It's one of those Pokemon that doesn't need any levels to actually already be a secure threat and to put your opponents in a bad position. So yeah, wherever it is getting some great value, as we already see Inteleon online here. We've got the level 7 on the Leafeon. If that Leafeon can hit 8 before one of these big fights, that'll be huge for that Unite move. It probably will, because that's what Leafeon does, as we see all of the beams flying out, the snipe shots and the solar beams, everyone looking for a little bit of that farm. Inteleon almost 8 right here, which is pretty huge, and we have Wartortle online now.
EV's trading KOs. Leafeon earns 1. Their team fight really starts popping off at the bottom side. Galnegunnar gets some early damage to AlexKidd, but the healing from Eldegoss so far been very, very impressive from Nares.
And here we go, getting ready for this Registeel. And I have to mention, Zoinks, I'm not sure what's going on with your mic, but it's cutting in and out. And I know the chat's excited that they can hear less of you, but I want to hear more as this Inteleon jumps right in. Huge solar beams. We got the double KO going down in this bottom path. Mew takes one, Leafeon takes the other. Registeel getting chipped up right now. It is at half. We see the Wartortle looking. We see the Glaceon looking. It's going to be really hard to secure this, and they don't, as that solar beam comes in. Beautiful fight here from the side of UwU as they are taking this bottom objective.
Nice stuff. And Nyhaat getting some early solar beam damage. And yeah, let me know if my audio issues continue. I'll try to see if I can fix it up while I'm spectating, but I don't know. It might be tough. Might be an after this game kind of solution.
Yeah, it's not terrible. Just every once in a while you're cutting out mid-sentence, but you know, it'll be something that I'm sure we'll either figure out or not as the day goes on. Getting ready for another fight. Lucario jumping in right here. The Rock Tomb actually trying to stop it, but it does not stop that KO. Able to avoid that solar beam as it's using its power-up punch just to kind of dance around and try to get out of this engagement right here. It does. It's so nice seeing Lucario in some ways, but it's almost like seeing that ex that you forgot you had a really bad relationship with, and now you're just like, oh yeah, there they are, and then you're like, oh wait, actually it's terrible that they're around.
Yeah, there they are. You gotta say it much menacingly on the second time. Snow getting some great value out of this Leafeon. It struggled a little bit early, to our surprise, I think. It got some good scores, but then the Lucario shutdown was pretty immediate. However, now that we've got some chaos the other way, it feels like we are back to parity, or at least what we can call it, in this mid part of the game. Regieleki going to be demolished quickly if they can. However, Glaceon gets involved, but that final KO going over to Nyhaat's Mew.
I want to know what you think about nice big Unite move right there. Almost getting in a position to pick up that Inteleon. Not quite, though. I want to know what you think about Mew. Because I know that it got buffed and then it got nerfed, but it feels almost like a bit of a wash. I know Solar Beam is worse, but it feels like Mew is still insanely good, but just maybe people are kind of off that right now.
I like Inteleon, Glaceon, and Venusaur more than I do, and I feel like those are the options that it contends with quite a bit, so I understand why it's fallen off a little bit. Its Unite move, though, is extremely strong. It's a very good secure Pokemon, so if you're missing that, it's very powerful. Can't get body blocked, things like that. Electro Ball, very surprising. So it's got certain value. However, this team's playing at its central area. So obviously it's pretty strong. Self-destruct from Hirai. Gonna take out the Lucario with it. But the Registeel buff is gonna go to Plush Keepers as Jaypa is gonna take it with their Glaceon.
Very nice stuff. And I totally agree with you. It's one of those things, you know how it just feels like as a community we bounce off of something even though it didn't really get hurt that much. You're just kind of like, yeah, I guess it's not it anymore. But to be fair, when you're playing at this high of a level, Zoinks, those small margins can mean the entire game. And it's the reason you don't see Lucario as much anymore and you would see another pick. And it's the reason that you can't really play Machamp anymore. It's like, is Machamp that bad? Well, maybe Machamp's not a great example, but you get what I'm saying. Is it that much worse? Could you really not win a game with it? But the question is that slight advantage that you get out of a Buzzwole or a Blastoise or whatever else you'd be seeing just so much better. You know, you would see Overlord on something like Aegislash, and it's still Overlord, but you have to go, yeah, Aegislash is a little lacking right now. So I do understand dropping, you know, Mew a little bit, but it does feel like, I don't know, maybe a little premature as we get a nice big Unite move into a KO down here. Leafeon, one of those Pokemon that can just take a Unite move like that and have it right back ready for Ray.
Yeah, you can use it basically whenever you want. Problem is, though, for UwU, they're not a huge overdunk on the bottom side. I don't think they have had a great scoreline there. However, the top side potential, leaving it at 31, is going to prime it for some bigger overdunks a little bit later if they can find it. Regieleki not going to make its way to that tier 2. Lucario not really having the, I don't know, pushing power that Volto maybe would like. But with the final stretch around the corner, Team UwU is actually going to have the lead. However, this is a tough composition to make your way into from Plush Keepers. Inteleon and Glaceon is so much poke damage. Up front, Hirai's going to be working overtime to try to out-heal that far-range damage.
And we're going to see what they want to do here on our orange side, obviously. Plush Keepers are going to need to look for a possible score or a win of a fight. Nice big snipe shot. They hit a few of those, and things change very, very quickly. Lucario waiting in this top bush. They've got them kind of funneled into this small area right here as we see the fight starting. Big Unite move from the Blastoise, pushing them back, but they're not able to really do anything about it. The Solar Beam lands. Here comes the Clefable healing, and Lucario is just getting pushed out. Everyone's sort of dancing through this fight. We see Inteleon was in a lot of trouble right there thanks to Leafeon, but no one is going down, which is actually great for our purple team, as here goes the Blastoise. Sylveon ripping them up. Rayquaza is now started. Lucario at the top of the pit. We see Glaceon throwing in the spears. Crustle uniting to make sure that nothing happens because of that. The snipe shot hits Mew, but Mew is doing fine because of that beautiful Mew Moonlight. Here comes Lucario looking for a KO, not able to pick it up. Sylveon dances up into the air to make sure that they do not go down. No one yet down from our purple team, dancing perfectly as a squad to make sure that the Moonlight keeps them alive as 2, now 3 members down here. Mew picking up a triple as Inteleon is getting pushed out. They are ahead on the scoreboard, so they're going to need to make a decision. What do they want to do in this moment as they are hitting Rayquaza? The snipe shot still landing. Any moment right here, this could get stolen. It's getting incredibly low. Another snipe shot, and here comes the final moments they secure with the Leafeon.
Oh my word. I mean, they were up that entire matchup. The team fight was going well the entire time for Team UwU, and I was still holding my breath as those final seconds happened. It felt like things could get so catastrophic so quickly, but great play from the kind of supporting staff of this team to be blocking those snipe shots. Obviously, the one downside of snipe shot is that it is rather predictable with that red line of sight. We saw the Crustle and the Clefable getting in front of those consistently to block those for their damage carries. So even if our tanks and defenders and supports and the like do go down, at least the Pokemon that are going to be responsible for securing that final objective are still around.
You know, one moment I loved there, Zoinks, was when we saw Lucario and it went for that jump in right there. Hey, well, we might even be popping into that depending on how fast this finishes right here. Michael finishes again. Here we go. Purple team, orange team, UwU, Plush Keepers. It's just a classic song we all sing around the campfire as we're heading down to the bottom path. We've got our Leafeon up here in the top path. We're seeing a Buzzwole. I'm wondering what was banned out right here. I'm guessing Blastoise and what? Maybe Blastoise and Blastoise?
Yeah.
Oh, Clefable, right?
That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got to be. Volto has been doing again. Somebody that was on the EUI stage last year as a sub, Volto stepping up, and they had actually a really good on-stage presence despite kind of being a last-second ad. And I'm glad to see them committing to a team and trying to earn their spot again here, because they had some very flashy moments, and playing Buzzwole, they have the opportunity for some more.
Really nice stuff there. I mean, Hoopa just able to distract too. We've got the Danger Noodle here, Dragonair in the top path. This is a Pokemon that's been seeing so much more play in ACL than we have been seeing it in other places. However, it does feel like EU is picking it up a little bit. I've seen Nouns pick it up, and now we're seeing it up here in our top path. The Hyper Beaming Dragonite seems to be a bit of a thing, as Guardy's actually putting some damage down. I feel like I haven't seen much Guardy, even though it got buffed, Doobsnax, and I feel like it's actually doing really well.
Guardy is nasty and something I expect to be picked up a lot in NA. It's just a quality pick. Jaypa getting absolutely chunked. Nice follow-up engage by Snow to get that knockout. That's a key one. Gives them the double buffs as well. So now Snow's looking to be a menace. Volto's on the other side, but those Solar Blades deal real damage at no matter what level you're at.
Down this bottom path, we're seeing the Scald Bro in this bottom path. It's interesting seeing Scald when there isn't a ton of attack damage that you really want to, negate on the other side. Now, that's not the only thing Scald does. It's also some nice DPS. It has some decent secure. But I feel like every time you're seeing Slowbro, you're seeing Surf competitively.
Yeah, I think Scald is kind of griefed, to your point. I just don't think it's as good as Surf in almost any scenario here. Hirai is just trying to get their stacks in, but they get beat down for that effort, and I don't even think they got their 1 point in. Spraggles. Sock's going to hold down the bottom, as really we're looking for an opportunity, Oranges, to rally back here, because I kind of think they've been stymied left, right, and center.
Yeah, they're running into some problems. The only thing that looks really great for them is this Dragonite is about to come online. Buzzwole also pretty strong, as we have a little bit of a fight ready to break out in this top path. Here comes the Mean Look, right into the Psyshock, into the Solar Blade. Huge damage comes out. Buzzwole goes down. Dragonair is here a little late and still not evolved, as once again, look at this combo. Mean Look, Psyshock, Solar Blade, gone.
Well, as we know, worms on pavement don't fare too well in the sun, and that was proven yet again. That Solar Blade looked dangerous. And of course, Hirai steps up, grabs a berry. Now they're working on the backside, and they're just causing so much static, bringing so much attention to themselves, allowing Gardevoir to be hit, allowing this Leafeon to get more experience. And now they're the biggest things moving on the map. Plush Keepers actually rotating down, trying to get some sort of purchase in the bottom path, and they're pushing pretty good. Gunnar has to reset using that Fell Stinger to try and get the Indeedee. I don't think that's necessarily where their target was going, but they did force out the Mew Unite.
Yeah, they forced that Unite, which is really nice. Obviously, Mew having to use that Unite, really getting no value for it. Big Solar Beam coming in, but here comes the Leafeon looking for a KO. They're seeing if they can get Dragonite or Slowbro. Either way, they're completely zoned out, and they're able to take this objective. Things are going great for the side of UwU right now.
Yeah, that Fairy Singularity actually used like a Rock Tomb, right? Just for pure spacing to make sure that the Dragonite couldn't engage through it to use their Hyper Beam. I actually forced them to reset which means that UwU got that thing for free, and that's exactly what they're looking to do. So clever use of the Unite move. You know, not every Fairy Singularity has to be for 3 KOs or to bunch up the entire team. It can literally just be used to gobble up portions of the map to open up, you know, opportunities to steal objectives. So well done there. UwU is playing very, very well right now.
Yeah, this is, I mean, unless they start giving up some big moments right here, they can just take this all the way to the bank and win this game because they are in the driver's seat right now. They are in control of what's happening. And this combination, please nerf mean look. Please. This is so stupid that this can do this.
Yeah, it's there's another Fairy Singularity because that's the big buff that it got, and that's quick KO on the Dragonite prime target here as we have Volto using their Buzzwole Unite, but can't track down the target that they had lined up. They get KO'd quickly. Snow is just peppering in these Solar Blades everywhere. It's like its own form of just destructive spacing. Like if it doesn't KO you, it doesn't allow you to move forward either. It's looking phenomenal. Hirai is going straight for the engage, and they've got to be feeling strong right now. Jaypa able to Dragon Dance around the next Solar Blade, but the Regieleki is hit. Now we've got a big opportunity for an overdunk here, and they get plus 34 on that. So nice overdunk again. Check that out on Spotify as well. Great Pokemon Unite related podcast as Hirai uses their Unite move, catches all 3, stuns them up. The follow-up is there. Snow wants the target. Snow gets the target. 2 players down, though, for UwU.
Incredible stuff right here as they are able to win that fight even after Gardevoir is going down. You're on Fire is also a Pokemon Unite podcast. Don't know how to work it into a sentence, but we got Pokemon Unite podcasts out here, everybody. Here comes Slowbro looking to try to get something done in this bottom path, possibly get a secure, trying to steal some of this away from these X scissors right here. And this combination is so stupid. Someone take this part of this stream and please send it over to Temmie and say, are you looking at what's happening right here? Every time a mean look lands, the Pokemon goes down.
Just clip it and ship it. It's a mean look, then a rock tomb on the backside. So even if they do leave the mean look, they can't escape. And then everything in the kitchen sink gets thrown into that horseshoe. I mean, Volto gets a quick KO on Hirai, but that's really been the only target they've been able to take down because the rest of the spacing's been just so good out of this UwU squad.
Speaking of clip it and ship it, that's another Pokemon Unite podcast where Doobsnax and I take a look at all the best clips of the week, very Tosh.0 style. Unfortunately, no one watches it.
No one watches it. It's so unknown that I am surprised by the fact that I have that podcast, to be honest.
Me too. Taking a look at our bottom path right here, we can see the 2 EXP share defenders just hanging out, already level 11, almost the level of the carries on the other side of the map, as we have Dragonite and Buzzwole ticking over to 12. Unite move to try to stay alive and pick up a KO, and somehow they do. Leafeon does go down, however, providing some nice experience to our orange team.
What's impressive to me is they left with a KO. Like, they should have been just absolutely dead to rights. They used the Emerald 2-step and are able to close out the KO on the Mew. I mean, that is impressive work and just shows the strength of Leafeon, especially when they are higher levels than their opposition here. Sox has really just kind of been dancing by themselves in the bottom path, really just tasked to insulate this goal zone. Have done a pretty good job in the face of multiple players, and it looks like Plush Keepers are looking to get into this bottom path and get some positioning for this basement. The basement Reggie won't hit. They're just getting positioning in the bottom path.
Can I say, Doobsnax, I don't know if you've been brushing up on your Unite move names, but I feel like you're nailing it, my friend.
Have I said words?
You hit the Emerald 2-step, the Snow Globe. I mean, I feel like you've got all the names, and I every once in a while I'm like, cram Unite.
I say the Unites more than I say the names of them. That's for sure. But I'm glad to see you noticed. I appreciate you respecting the work that I've been putting in.
Consummate professional, the best in the business as we get ready for this fight here, Doobsnax. 1 minute 50. We are just a few points separating these two teams with 2 tier 1 goal zones up. Slowbro gets caught.
Yeah, I mean, any Pokemon at this point is getting caught. It's just putting in this like absolutely vice grip trap that UwU has going on. Now Hirai's on the backside. They're able to use their Unite move, dodge the absolute huge Hyper Beam, but it's the Buzzwole Volto that goes down, and now Snow's feeling it. They're in the back line. Mew pops their Unite move. They're looking for a target with the Solar Beam, and they miss everybody. Can't hit the bright side of the barn with that. Nurzox uses their Unite move, try to pull everybody back through. They're throwing fists from space, but isn't enough. Crustle used their Unite move, but it's sealed up. It's signed, sealed, delivered, and now it's burger time, as that's what's on the order. That's what's on the menu, and I think it's about time for this UwU team to put Plush Keepers away.
Yeah, UwU now reining the points in. The game is still incredibly close. We have the Umbreon shield down, but with 100 points making its way center, and Leafeon dancing around looking for an opportunity to score as well. It looks like this game is all but over. Crustle looking for the score as Leafeon comes in and is able to put another 100 points. 413 to 104, and we also have the Galnegunnar up here in the top path waiting for their hundo burger as well. Look, everyone's hungry and they need those hundo burgers, as it looks like that is going to be the game right here. UwU takes it, and how could they not with this combination? Mean Look, Psyshock, Snipe Shot, Solar Blade. Gross. I'm gonna puke. Blah. I did.
That is a vomit-inducing comp if I've ever seen one. And yeah, it delivered here. Plush Keepers are looking to score. They're going to get some points. Look at that sandbagging of the Solar Blade out of snow, by the way. Just waiting to give them hope and then crushing all 4 of them with it. Another fair singularity on the goal zone is going to seal this thing up. What a showdown. And honestly, a great match between these two teams.
Yeah, that was an awesome match. I honestly, though, I don't know what you do against that combination. Once a team is ahead and they have that combo, what on earth? Every time a Mean Look lands, something goes down. It's just crazy. It's so...
Yeah, and I was just going to say the proof in the pudding to that was how quickly they took care of the Slowbro the moment Rayquaza hit the map. I mean, Slowbros don't get eviscerated like that. It's very rare that they do. And this is...